Hi everyone. So I can't say I know much about the Hodge twins, but research tells me that they are two black men with non-black wives, which is totally fine, but I don't know why no one questions black men's obsession with talking about black women while married to other races, because I know if I was in a group of black women talking about black men while married to other races, people would say we are definitely not happy. But anyway, they are in the conservative space, and making black women a topic of discussion will definitely garner many views from their audience because there is a lot of resentment towards us as black women, especially from men of every color, every creed. And it's probably personal for the Hodge twins since they did say their black exes were abusive. Now, if you are a black woman, please hit that subscribe button because I will have many insightful videos coming up. And I saw this video pop up and I was taken a bit aback by the title and the image because the title was alluding to a German woman who was speaking on black women. And I thought, how does one type of white woman speak on us as a whole? Because I'm obviously what they call a black Brit. I am West African, and I thought, how does this German woman have the audacity to speak on me, the original woman? But I watched it and saw her specify Black American women. So let's dive in. Funnily enough, the comment section was all over the place because let's be real, most of the viewers know what she was saying isn't true or they haven't been near a black woman. So it's kind of just, yeah, I have a wife from this foreign country, or American women are trash, or a study said black men don't like this about black women. And so they really couldn't say every black woman is horrific because they are dealing with women who are not black who are horrific. And they'll tell you to your face that none of these things are black women specific. Now, I thought to myself, what does it actually mean to have a white woman say that black American families have no love and what she has to offer is better? And black men co-sign this, which is shocking to me as a non-American woman. But I want to highlight some words from Dr. Francis. And just a disclaimer, if you are going to subscribe to my content, I am not pro-black. I'm not interested in the pro-black agenda. I'm only pro-black woman, so bear that in mind. But I just thought what she was saying is relevant.
But you call the white woman the aggressor?
I say that she is aggressive because we live in the context of a white supremacy society in which white people are the dominant group. They are the people who control the power. We are the oppressed people. We are the people who are victims of that system. Just like, I mean, in terms of history, it was just a short 2 months ago in terms of the whole historical span that black men were being lynched for looking at a picture of a white woman. Do you see? And now we are told, well, now everything is opened up. Well, I want to understand, well, why is it that everything is opened up? I think everything is opened up since black men started talking about black power. You see, when black men start talking about black power, then that says, well, all right, maybe there will be a challenge to the system of white supremacy domination, not only in this area of the world, but all over the world. So the white supremacy system says, all right, well, now what do we do to, get these people back in control? And what do we do to get them back in check? That is a black man. Well, we'll lay our ace trump card on them, which is a white woman.
In other words,
you see, which brings the black man then back within the context that the white supremacy system is going to work for you. See, we denied you this, now you have it. But on close examination, in spite of all of the black-white marriages, the black-white sex that has occurred throughout history, in the last 500 years, there has been no serious tampering with the maintenance of white supremacy, certainly not through the bedroom activity. Do you see what I'm saying? But in other words, it throws people off balance.
So
in other words, money. It's a question of an established system to maintain white power, and that this is what is raising havoc all over the world for the vast majority of people. Do you want to eliminate that? No, because the white woman understands that the black man is not even going to feel towards her as he does unless there's white supremacy and unless he feels in his powerless position that he is gaining power by making an alliance, be it marital, sexual, whatever kind of alliance with the white woman.
I think that they feel that maybe unconsciously. There was no question in my mind that with a lot of the white female workers in the movement, even though they were involved with black men and sometimes married to them, that a lot of them had a lot of racist ideas and feelings. That is, frequently the attention of the black men made them feel very special.
Right, you called it the African queen, or the white African queen.
Yeah, the white African queen. Heightened their sense of feeling special. You mean attention they couldn't normally get from a white man?
Now, the twins describe this German woman as beautiful, this average white woman as beautiful, and it's funny that she thinks she was chosen by whichever black American man because black women are lacking something. And this is honestly the demonic lie from the pit of hell that continues to be shared by black men, are we still doing that? Like, are we still saying, for example, Asian women date white men because Asian men are so terrible, despite their low domestic violence rates and high incomes and work ethic? We still think that Asian women, it's not something they feel about themselves that causes them to date out at high levels, but it's Asian men. Like, we're still thinking that black men date out because of black women. And I don't even have smoke for this random German woman, because I see how white women look at me when I walk these streets. So saying we're no competition is laughable to me on a personal level. You know, clearly I must be something the way these women look at me. And I live in Europe. And I think this kind of I'm better than black women to single mother pipeline is something serious. So let's let these non-black women flex. You know, I remember even the family living opposite me a few years ago where the white woman openly called her black husband the N-word. This idea that white women are more nurturing and that, you know, they are better than black women in terms of what it means to be a wife, that is laughable. Are we talking about the white woman who views black men as human dildos and cash machines? And I know any black man co-signing this is definitely a bum. And he's someone who wants, you know, some type of white whale paying his rent where he pays her in sexual favors. Because the reality of the situation is black men will allow these non-black women to treat them like shit. And although most white women have to learn the hard way what Western black women know, what we have known for the longest, we aren't the problem. And this is why the highest divorce rate in interracial pairings is between a white woman and a black man. And this is what I want Western black women to understand, is that to me, interracial dating and allowing black men to engage with other races is a blessing, because it highlights that no matter where that man goes, the same issues persist, and the stats are there. So back to this average white woman. Imagine me as a West African woman hearing someone say, yeah, German women cook and value family, like that nasty ass food. And even a German man in the comments was like, this is BS, right? And those men don't even put them on that much of a pedestal. I don't think there's any German man that's going to say, yeah, German women are so family oriented and cook well. And all these podcast men, you know, the things they say they hate, these women do, but for some reason it's only an issue when it's a black woman. Like, you see in these spaces every day, 3 or 4 this, 3 or 4 that. And it's funny because literally this month in the UK, this trending story about a UK, you know, spicy Latina, like the Hodge twins' wives, you know, that they have so much praise for. I'm sure they won't do any videos on their flaws, but a spicy Latina married to a black man was caught having sex with a mixed race prisoner, right? It's on video, it was everywhere. And stats show us that white and Hispanic women are much more promiscuous than black women, but still these narratives persist. And any black woman watching, please subscribe, because I will have many future videos for you, because you cannot be accepting bare minimum or certain things when you're held to such a completely different standard and you're so disrespected. And just to give some of the insight, unfortunately, like Dr. Francis was saying, is that as black people, what we've been through in the West, we internalize white supremacy, right? And so your average Western black man sees black women as low. And I'm sorry to say that, I'm going to say it bluntly. They see black women as low, and I will discuss this extensively in future videos. This doesn't mean that he doesn't find some of us attractive. It doesn't mean they don't want us in their beds, but it means that they view us through a whitewashed societal lens as less than every other race of woman. And so as black people, we grow up together, you know, oftentimes not in the best environments. And then we grow up internalizing racist imagery and stereotypes about our tribe, where we begin to see them as less. And many POC experience this, but with black women, we've been conditioned otherwise. And I will talk about that in detail in future. And so they see black women as low. It doesn't mean they don't want you. at some level, but they see that, this is not on the level of the white, Asian, Hispanic woman because we are black. And so you will see this. He may find you more attractive than that Chinese woman, but the way he will engage with you is different. And when you look down on someone, you expect that less person to engage with you in a certain way. And when they don't, that creates a lot of anger, a lot of problems, and that's where the hatred from black men comes from. And so that's why the flaws of non-black women, how great they are never spoken about and are almost invisible. That high divorce rate is ignored in favor for false narratives painting every black woman as a monster. Now, one of the twins goes on to say women want too much. Now, he doesn't say black women, just women, because this narrative that black women are gold diggers and want so much is laughable. And like I said, your average Western black man, because he views black women as low and through that white supremacy lens, he feels entitled to the black Barbie, right? There's only a small pool of black women that he deems worthy. And because of they are perpetual victims, racism, have a hard time, when they don't have access to that cream of the crop, the few they deem as worthy, even when they are bums, that's what they're looking for. And so when these women, rightfully so, because they are the cream of the crop, are asking for things, even just to pay on a date that a man has asked her on, this becomes a problem because of how they view blackness. And the idea that, women ask for too much and saying that on a video about black women, when we know there is no race of woman on this planet who accepts and has accepted as little from their men as Western black women have. And I'll speak in future about how this was our downfall. Looking at the actual studies, right? People, outsiders who actually look at our community, they will tell you that the root of poverty in our community is black men, right? I remember that article, everyone was insulting them. Black women have similar odds of escaping poverty as poor white women. We have similar odds as poor white women in escaping poverty until we marry black men. This whole article was literally saying that black men's poor outcomes are why black women have poor outcomes, and black women have opportunity to rise up the ranks, but it's black men that pull them down. And imagine reading this in detail. Please read in the description, and having these black men come on countless videos. These women demand too much amongst the backdrop of gold digging white and Asian women. This is just confusing. And then he alludes to this idea that most black women are loud and combative. And I always think to myself, like, if we viewed black men through stereotypes, we'd probably run away every time we see one, like the Asian girls who were stuck to my ass in uni because they were literally scared to be in groups with black men. These men would do anything to sully our image. But if black women were on a campaign to sully their image, do you know where we would be today? He says that the only person who put hands on him was a black woman, but then black men are unaliving black women at epidemic rates. And he does these motions about how he would, put hands on her if that was now. No one talks about the domestic violence rates, the molestation rates in the community that may cause black women to behave negatively. And this is what I'm telling you, like the Asian woman, the white woman, they have fathers in their lives. They have men who build institutions to keep them safe. And then you have the audacity to come to look at the black woman and say, you don't have what they have. And this is when I really became solely focused on black women, because I realized that black men want you to have empathy for their position in the West. Like they are in jail, their income is low overall because of racism, and we should protest and support them. But there is absolutely no sympathy for the ways a black woman may show up half-baked or not perfect. And that's why I will never in my life hold black men to a different standard to any other race of man on this planet. The audacity that me, even as a West African black British woman, I had to learn about African American history and black women and the rape and the poor housing. I love me some Maya Angelou, some Toni Morrison. And something to note here is that when we talk about, they will talk about you need strong black men in the home. Let me not get triggered because, I'm looking at this as an outsider, just looking at the Black American community that, fatherhood is somewhat valued in the culture I come from, but the audacity of Western black men to say we need black men in the home when you are the one walking out the home. And if we look at the evidence, because we can all sit here and talk from our hearts and be triggered, but we have to look at the evidence that, every day it's aggressive single black baby mamas, the worst thing on the planet. But if we look at this flyer by Patricia Robinson, linked in the description, in the 1960s, right? We're not talking about the city girls of today that people keep bringing up. We're talking about the 1960s. Black men actually told black women, hey, stop using contraception. This was in America because they saw it as genocide, right? So the men today who are judging black single mothers, their ancestors were saying, please stop stop using contraceptions, have as many kids. And these black women in the 1960s are saying, no, we know the black man sees us as evil, but they do not look after the children they make. They only care about alcohol and drugs. And so we really need contraception. And so take the time and read this because, like I said, as a West African woman who has done her research, I'm taken aback because these black men lived through it with these black American women, and they still have no sympathy and have the audacity to put women who haven't been through half of what a black American woman has been through above them. They say black women try to take the role of the man. And again, something so treacherous about an individual or group causing you to behave in a certain way, and then that individual and group using the behavior you show as a result to sully your image. It's very evident that the ecosystem many Western black women reside in robs them of the ability to rest in their femininity and to chill and relax. I recall even Alicia Keys saying that living in a rough neighborhood made her wary and emotionally guarded. And she began to wear like gender neutral clothing and cornrows because of the constant harassment she witnessed and experienced. And also, black women in the West, they don't benefit from masculinity. And videos like this contribute to Western black women feeling very negative about men and masculinity. We have no line of defense. We have no counterpart to rely on who has so many internal issues. And so it's no surprise that the black woman is not going to be as quick as another woman to alter her behavior to appease to men. And it's like, yeah, be like this Hispanic woman, be like this Asian woman, while not even providing a quarter of what those men provide those women. It's honestly disgusting, but I will get into this in future videos. I honestly don't know how black American women still give these men a lineage, because like it would take so much for me to give a black American man or any man a lineage. I don't care at this point. I'm open to a loving and deserving man. There are wonderful men out there, but no man of any race is getting anything from me for free. The level of disrespect black women face is wild, especially when it is built on lies. But, I'll have many videos coming up for black women. I've decentered men, and I hope every black woman does the same and puts herself first like every other race does.